Hello everyone, I'm Ankita Singh from Glad to Live, and here with me is Mr. Aman Jain. He is the Chief Operating Officer at Gamerji. Hello, sir.
Hi Ankita, thanks for having me with you.
Yes, sir. So I would like to request you to please introduce yourself.
Sure. So Ankita, I graduated from IIT Kanpur in 2015. Post that I got placement in ITC. So I worked there for 3 years in the supply chain management and the quality management. Post that I got an offer from OYO where I was heading OYO Goa operations for the home division. And post that I got an offer from a investment firm. So I worked as a CEO for Gamerji, and currently I am serving as operations head for Voom. Both are the gaming platform under the same umbrella.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your introduction. So I would like to go for the first question.
Sure.
Since you've been into building startups and chain management, etc., so how are these sectors or maybe these departments affected due to this pandemic?
Okay. So before I come on the effects of the pandemic, let's understand how this startup works. So most of the startup works with a very low budget. They have a runway of 5 to 6 months or at max a year runway, and we work on based on the creating value in our company, and so that we get more and more investment from the new investors. These are the two ways we grow. So since last 6 months, all the process cycle of the investment it has got hampered completely. The sole reason is all the investors who have invested in their old startups, they were also suffering at this pandemic time, right? So now their focus is to sustain their old startup rather than investing in a new startups. So that cycle has got hampered. The second thing is most of the startup has lost revenue. So because of this particular things, many people in the startups, they have lost jobs, or either they are working on a pay cut. Runways are short, so most of the startups, maybe around 40 to 50%, has got shut down as well, because they have no runway, no money left with them. And again they are planning to launch maybe in the month of January or February, when the situation will start normalizing.
Yes, sir. So then I would like to go for the second one.
Yes.
What opportunities has COVID-19 provided to the entrepreneurs of a country? Like entrepreneurship is one of the trending domains in today's world. So what is the scope for new setups or new startups in our country? Like how will this pandemic give rise to new startups?
As everyone is talking about the new normal, so what is the new normal? New normal is online education, your safety, hygiene, healthcare, right? So the particular industry which I think where entrepreneurs can look can focus is the educational industry, online education. If you will look at the new educational policy as well, it says that the purpose of the education is to introduce the vocational training more and more. Currently the schools, the colleges are not focusing on the vocational training part. So there is a huge scope where an entrepreneur can come, can create a software systems or some sort of offline system where institutes and college can easily adopt it to give a vocational training to their students. The second part is the remote education. Currently schools are running the online classes on the Zoom or other softwares. Already multiple software has been developed. If I talk about this particular industry, by Feb of 2020 there were more than 300 companies operating in this particular sector, but still there is a huge gap. The new educational policy says that education should be based on the discovery based learning. Our logical thinking should be imparted into the students. Again, with the help of software, with the help of applications, computer systems, you can develop a system where you can teach the simple concepts of math, science, biology in a way where students are forced to think logically. They should not just mug up the things. They should not just focus on the scoring the marks, right? Their holistic report card should include the marks as well as their skills they have acquired during the college, during the school time. What are the important aspects of their life, of personality? So a particular tech thing is required to support this system, to support this new educational policy.
Yes, sir. Very well said. So there's one very normal question in today's world. Like industries say that nowadays the students which come up from the colleges for jobs, the freshers, to be honest, so they are not up to the mark to like for the industrial world.
Right.
So, what are your views regarding that? Are the colleges not able to produce good students, or the students are not up to the mark for what reasons? So how can we know better industrial knowledge from this?
It's not about colleges are not able to produce good students, it's about the current system is not up to the mark. In college you are getting the bookish knowledge, practical knowledge is little, or most of the colleges don't have a practical knowledge, right? Even when I joined ITC, a 6.5 month of training was given to me. So I went through 10 factories, I've seen the manufacturing system, I went on the roads to sell the goods of ITCs, I worked with the retailers, I've seen the warehouse, a complete supply chain. Post a training of 6.5 months, I started handling the role, right? But not every company can afford this. Means they cannot give you a salary for 6.5 months and just give you a training, right? So it is really required that during the college time a student should be given a good opportunities for having internships, maybe in the manufacturing sector, in the IT sector, or in whatever sector is student is interested, right? It will give a on hand training, on job training. The second part is coming to the system part, which new educational policy is taking care of, vocational training. What vocational means here is you should be knowing the electrical work, you should be knowing the carpentry work, all those sort of things which you require in your daily life. You should be knowing how to do those kind of jobs. So if a student is well equipped with the theory, the practical, I don't think companies will have any problem with the hiring freshers. The other point which is really required is a student should be willing to learn new things. So that aspect has to be imparted during college, and in fact from the beginning in the school, that student should know how to learn new things, because a single skill cannot help you throughout the life. You have to upgrade, keep upgrading yourself. So that gel has to be inside you, and it has to be developed during school and the college time.
Yes, actually, students need to work harder to prove themselves in the industry.
Right.
So, sir, as everyone has been working from home in this pandemic, so has your work from home been? Like, had you worked from home, or were you going to office throughout this lockdown? So, how was your life?
So since last 6 months I am working from home only, and for me in the beginning first 2 or 3 weeks were really difficult, because since last 12 years I am outside home. I left my hometown in 2008, and now again after 12 years I got an opportunity to stay 6 months at home. So my mindset was particular that from home, if I am at home, I am enjoying my leaves, I am enjoying my vacations. But so in the first 15 days when we used to have meetings on the Zoom or the Google Hangout, it was pretty difficult to have discussions also, because we are habitual for the physical discussion, sitting in a particular conference room, 5-6 people are there, then you are writing on the board and having discussions and making the conclusions. So it was bit difficult in the first 15 days, and of course when you are at home you have to spend time with your family as well. They have your expectation during lunchtime, you have to spend time with them. But when you are at office, you will take lunch in just 30 minutes and again you will start working. A complete peace is there. So it's bit challenging in beginning, that you have to manage the family and the office time at the same time. But now I think this is one of the best life I am living. A complete work-life balance is there. Working hour flexibility is there. If you want to take a rest or you want to take a snap, you can take it easily during the lunch time. You can have an extended lunch break of 1.5 hours. But at the same time, you should complete your work in the evening or by 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. You are saving a lot of time in travel. I used to spend almost 40 to 50 minutes in travel time. That extra time I am having with me, I can have my me time, I can use it for work, I can use it for with family. So in that particular sense, I am enjoying this work, but not everyone has this opportunity. Only the people who are in the job of IT or the application development where remote work is possible, they can only enjoy this facility. And for next 2 months, maybe post Diwali, again we can restart our office, but till Diwali we are not going to start our office.
Yes, sir. Actually, some people have also liked it. Like, as it is said, every coin has two sides.
Right.
Some find it productive, whereas some find it not very productive, or maybe not liking the way of working. So, what are your views? Like, should this be into practice even after pandemic, even when we are over with this COVID? So, should this work from home be in practice?
Okay, let me give you some stats. So when the pandemic started and the lockdown was announced, almost 66% of the employee immediately started working from home. Okay, out of 66, 30% of the employee were really happy that they are having a good work-life balance. But soon after a month, almost 41% of the employees started missing their professional environment, what they were having in their office. So still there are more than 50% of the employees who want to work from office, because it's for not everyone can manage both the things at the same time from the same place. So it depends, it's a decision of their company, their employees, how they would like to continue, from where they are getting the productivity. So if you can get productivity by working from home, you can keep continuing working from home. If you are getting productivity by working at office, you should go and reopen the office again. So it depends, it's a decision of a company and the individual. Hello?
Yes, sir. So, yes, sir.
Yes, Ankita.
So everything has a pro and a con. So
Right.
working with that is and adjusting is a very big part of learning, right?
Context is the main thing. The context in which you are operating, the context in which you are making the decision. You have to understand that context, and then you can make the decision, because a particular rule, a particular system cannot fit each and every individual in India or in the world, right? Everyone has different aspects, different contexts. You have to have customized systems for everyone when it is possible.
So, sir, for the next question will be,
Yes.
since you had been the operations head of Oyo Goa, right, a year back, so how do you think has the hospitality sector affected because of COVID, and how long will it take to get back to the normal working? Like, the situation, if the situation continues, then what are the measures should be taken in order to have a safe lodging of the customers? So what are your views regarding that?
I think after theater industry, it was the industry which got most impacted, hospitality. But Oyo did really well in terms of they opened their hotels as a segregation for the patients, for the doctor, where they can live away from their family since they are serving the patients. So it's sort of where you can isolate yourself. So in that particular sense, Oyo did really well. But there is another side to it, which we have heard from the news as well, that almost 40 to 50% of the employees were given 4 months of unpaid leaves, and then they have been asked that we cannot continue because we cannot afford it. And that is right as well, in the sense, if you are looking from the Oyo perspective, because as a company CEO, your aim is to sustain the company during every situation. Especially in this particular pandemic, your revenues are less, you don't require manpower, then you cannot keep continuing giving the salary to the employees and then you can sink the boat. You cannot sink the boat. If the boat is sustainable, if the boat is floating on the water, in the future again you can generate the employment. So those hard decisions has been taken by the Oyo management. And now I think as my discussion with the few of my friends in Oyo again started getting the room share in terms of booking. So I think occupancy rate should be around 20 to 30%. These figures are not exact, but maybe in this range hospitality sector is working now. So earlier, where they were having the occupancy of around 70%, 80% during the normal season, now they are having occupancy around 20 to 30%, and it will take almost 5 to 6 months more, because even when someone asks me to go for a meeting, for a physical meeting, I am not willing to stay in the hotels, because even I am scared whether if I am going in a hotel, what is the guarantee that those hotels are hygienic or not. So people will take time to overcome this particular fear, and then they will be come in the normal phase of booking the hotels and staying in the hotels.
So actually, safety matters a lot in this pandemic. And thinking of that, people are actually scared to go out and stay in hotels. So
Right. But
hopefully things will get better with time.
Hotels, they have done a good job. This is what I have heard, I have read in the articles, I have heard from my friends. So in this particular sense, Oyo is doing pretty well, and everything has a both plus sign and the minus sign, right? On the one hand side, people are losing job, on the other hand side, Oyo is sustaining. So both things are good.
Yes. So the next question will be, Gamerji is an esport tournament platform. So when we are in a period of time where people are getting into the virtual world and things are actually changing, so how do you think have these virtual platforms gained, or maybe how have these have made profit in this period? So what are your views regarding it?
Okay. As a gaming industry, I think gaming industry is one of the industry which has been benefited because of this pandemic. Because when people are at home, maybe professionals or maybe the students, what they are doing for just to pass the time they are playing games online, and now they are interested into the professional tournaments as well. So what does Gamergy do? Gamergy does, we organize the tournaments for the games like PUBG, Call of Duty, where people can register themselves by paying a small amount of entry fee, and if you can score a rank, maybe first rank, second rank, 10th rank, based on your rank you will be awarded a winning prize. So this is the whole model which is working now. So for Gamergy, in the first 2 months we have doubled up our the user base, and the other companies also has doubled their user base in first 2-3 months of this pandemic. Their revenue has increased, their daily active users has increased, the time spent by the user on this gaming platform, this particular metric has also been improved during this pandemic. Having said that, as the unlock begins, from the first unlock we are seeing the dip in the numbers as well. The kind of user flow was during the lockdown. Since people are getting busy slowly, again these numbers are coming down, but again that the new down is a much higher than the pre-pandemic era.
Yes.
Yes, so in that sense gaming industry is doing good, and lot of gaming industries has been started, and because of this we have launched our new gaming platform as well, Boom.
Yes, actually, doing something is better than doing nothing. So playing is one of the, I think, best part what people are enjoying in today's day-to-day life, right?
Not only this, even students
So,
or the
sir,
professionals have opportunity to make career in the esports. There are professional players, professional
yes,
teams whom we sponsor or whom other companies are sponsoring, and when they win the prizes or they sort of become like celebrities or the micro influencers, and then the revenue model starts from there. So lot of people are thinking about making career in these particular things as well.
yes, sir. So, now you are familiar with Grad to Live. So,
Yes.
we are now launching our EdTech platform. So, what are your views regarding it? How helpful would this be for people and for students actually?
First of all, I will congratulate to the complete team for taking this good initiative at the right time. This is the right time to begin. The second, as per my study, I have seen that, yes. So as per my study, I have seen that Grad to Live is doing a good job, and they are trying to penetrate the tier 2, tier 3 cities where is a huge gap. Most of the companies are focusing on the metro cities where the educational crowd is good. So one particular positive point of Grad to Live is their focus is different. They are penetrating in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. The second part is they have understood the concept that if you are operating or if you want to operate in tier 2, tier 3 cities, you should be cost effective. You should be providing the same course, same quality content at a lesser price, which Grad to Live is doing well. So these are the two differentiating factors which will make Grad to Live successful compared to other factories maybe in recent future.
Yes, sir. And at last, had you been a student or a teacher in a remote area of a country, so and you get to hear about Grad to Live, and so what would you feel, and what opportunities do you think you could have got from Grad to Live, being a student or a teacher from a remote area? So how would you have taken this platform?
Okay. So from a student point of view, if I have been a student, then definitely this is one particular thing, since nowadays almost 300 to 400 smartphone users are there. Even in tier 2, tier 3 cities, most of the people are having smartphones. So Grad to Live is easy to access. You can access to the good content at a cheaper price, much cheaper compared to other companies. One particular thing that I would require Grad to Live is they should generate content in the vernacular language, in the local regional language, because as per stats also 71% of the educational content is being consumed in terms of their regional language, not only Hindi and the English. So this is one particular area. If Grad to Live focus or other companies focus, definitely student will love it. Being a Hindi spoken person or the English spoken person, definitely Grad to Live I will start using from tomorrow, right, or today itself. But if my mother tongue is different, maybe a Tamil mother tongue or Marathi, then I need content in that particular language, because not everyone is familiar with Hindi or English. So this is one particular area where people will start using Grad to Live if they are having content in their mother tongue.
Yes, sir. Actually, because people who are from remote areas are more conversed with their vernacular language. So, thank you so much for throwing light on this point. We would surely work on this.
Thanks.
And lastly, one last question
Yes.
would be, like, people are talking about GDP and the economy of a country, in fact, the world. So there is a decline in the economy, no doubt on that. So what are your views? What should we do as, as the citizens of our country to lift up the economy and to generate more GDP for this year?
So coming to the point again, GDP is one of the topic everyone is talking about. One thing we need to understand is this GDP figure which has come out recently. These are based on the lockdown figures, right? Where the complete shutdown was there. April month is included in that particular point. So I don't think these numbers are really worrying. Should be worried to us because these are the lockdown figures. Yes, I agree on the point that yes, GDP is on the decline because still the industries are having the effect of pandemic and all those things. The only way we can improve our GDP is let's adopt the new normal, understand the scope where people should focus. The focus is really clear, maybe from the government point of view, from the new educational point of view, or from the required point of view. What as a user, what as a citizen I want is the tech. Tech is the only solution for the new normal. Maybe it's education, maybe it's healthcare, whatever it is, maybe it's the way you are shopping. Now most of the people are not willing to go to on the retailer shop, right? Now they are having options, they are getting the home deliveries. So these are the point where as a citizen I want from the system. So if we are having good companies, good technology to upgrade these particular kind of services with a good user experience, I think economy will come on the way, not a problem.
Yes, sir. So being positive is what we can do in this time, and hopefully things will get better with time.
Right, being positive.
Thank
and
you
being
so
on the
much,
right
sir.
point. Yes.
And actually, learning how to grow with what scope we have at present.
Right.
So things need to be focused are on the scope and the positive side of everything. So thank you so much, sir. It was a very nice time having and talking to you was really nice. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ankita. It was pleasure talking to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.